Have you ever said something in English that felt perfectly correct, but the native speaker gave you a slightly confused look?
Oh, all the time, especially in the beginning. It's like you know the words, you know the grammar, but something is just off.
Exactly. Well, that's what we're diving into today. Welcome everyone to English with Adam.
And I'm Veronica.
And in this episode, we're talking about the sneaky little mistakes that even advanced English learners make. We're not talking about basic grammar, but those tricky habits that come from thinking in another language.
Right, the translation traps, where you translate a phrase word for word from your native language, and it comes out sounding a little strange in English.
That's the one. And the biggest goal for any serious learner is to break free from that and start actually thinking in English. So let's start with a classic example. Veronica, have you ever heard a student say, "I am agree with you"?
Oh, absolutely. It's super common, especially for speakers of Romance languages like Spanish or French, because in their language, it's structured like, I am in agreement.
Precisely. But in English, agree is a verb. It's an action. So we just say, I agree. Simple as that. It's not something you are, it's something you do. This is a perfect example of a direct translation trap.
That makes so much sense when you put it that way. What's another big one?
Okay, how about make versus do? This one trips up everyone, even at high level.
Oh, yes, I still have to pause and think about it sometimes.
Right? So the general rule of thumb is that make is for creating or producing something new, something that didn't exist before. You make a cake, you make a noise, you make a suggestion.
Okay, creating something. Got it.
Do, on the other hand, is for actions, tasks, and activities. Usually things that don't produce a physical object. You do your homework, you do the laundry, you do business.
So what about a mistake? Do you do a mistake or make a mistake?
A great question. That's one of the tricky ones. It's an exception. You make a mistake. Same with make a decision or make a phone call. These are set phrases or collocations that you just sort of have to learn.
Though there's a general rule, but also lots of phrases to memorize. English is fun, isn't it?
It keeps you on your toes. But really, all of this, I agree, make a mistake, it all points to the same root cause, translating. The real breakthrough happens when you can silence that translator.
Okay, so that's the million-dollar question, right? How do you actually do that? How do you learn to think in English? It feels so automatic to translate.
It is automatic at first, but you can build new habits. The first tip is to start small, really small. I'm talking about narrating your own life in your head.
Like talking to yourself?
Exactly. When you're making coffee, think, I am making coffee. I am pouring the water. When you're walking to the bus stop, I am walking. I see a red car. Use simple, basic sentences. You're not trying to be Shakespeare. You're just building the neural pathway. You're creating an English-speaking voice in your head.
That's actually a really practical idea. It doesn't require a book or a class. You can just do it anytime.
Anytime, anywhere. Okay, tip number 2 is to change your tools. When you come across a new word, what's your first instinct?
Probably to type it into Google Translate or a bilingual dictionary to find the word in my language.
And that's the habit we want to break. Instead, try using an English-to-English dictionary for learners, like the Merriam-Webster Learner's Dictionary or the Oxford Learner's Dictionary.
Oh, that's smart. So you stay completely inside the English language.
You got it. When you look up, say, the word hilarious, instead of seeing its translation, you see the definition, extremely funny. Now your brain has connected hilarious to extremely funny, not to a word in another language. You're building a web of connections entirely in English.
I love that. It forces your brain to work a little harder, but in a really productive way.
It really does. And the final piece of the puzzle, and this is huge, is immersion. You have to surround yourself with English. But, and this is the important part, it has to be comprehensible.
What do you mean by comprehensible?
It means you should understand most of it. Let's say 90 to 95%. If you're an intermediate learner, watching a complex legal drama with fast-talking lawyers is just going to be noise. You won't learn much.
Right, you'll just get frustrated and tune out.
Exactly. Instead, find something at your level. Maybe it's a podcast for learners, a TV show for kids, or a book you've already read in your own language. When you understand most of the context, your brain can focus on the new words and phrases and absorb them naturally.
That's such a relief to hear, actually. It's not about jumping into the deep end, it's about finding water where you can comfortably swim.
That's a perfect analogy. So, to recap, be aware of those direct translation traps like I am agree or make a mistake. And to break that habit, start thinking in English.
You know, another area where direct translation can cause problems is with articles, a, an, and the. Some languages don't use them at all or use them very differently.
That's a huge one. The mysterious invisible the, or the unnecessary a. I often hear things like, I love listening to the music when they're talking about music in general. That's it. It's not an overnight switch, it's a gradual process, but every little bit helps retrain your brain.
Exactly. In English, that little word the makes it specific. I love listening to music is a general statement. I love listening to the music implies we're talking about some specific music, like the music that's playing right now. And remember, making mistakes is part of the journey. It just shows that you're trying and pushing yourself.
Absolutely. The goal is progress, not perfection.
Well, that brings us to the end of our episode. If you found these tips helpful, we would so appreciate it if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, English with Adam.
And we genuinely love to hear from you, so please leave a comment down below. Tell us what your native language is and a common translation mistake you used to make. Or just say hi. We'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.
Why?